Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully created some of the table for our blog application. That is our table, blog, comment and the likes, and also for our app logging application, I have created another table as a user profile, right? So now I want to actually view it. So for view it, we have to create some of the URL, we have to create some of the template view, right? So if you go to our main URL, so that is our by default Django one of the home page. So now I want to actually change it. So if you want to change it in fundamental, I have already discussed about that things with you, how we can actually create some of the URL, how we can create that URL mapping. So that is our two of this application. And here if you go to our main blog and if you go to that URLs, so into the URLs here you can see there is a by default path as an admin. So right now that is our comments. So here we don't need it. I just simply remove it. So if you want to create that mapping, first of all in our app logging, here I want to do, you can see they have no URLs file. So I want to do all that our app authentication related every URL I want to create in our particular this application area. For the reasons here I create one of the new file and I just name our file will be as URLs, right? urls.py. And also in our blog, for the blog application, I create another urls.py, right? That means all that blog related every URL I want to set in our particular this urls py file, and also authentication related everything I want to save it in our this urls py. So now we have to include it. That means in our main blog, and if you go to that URL here, we have to include it. If you want to include into the path area, here we have to first of all add that our include method, right? That is the include method. So with this include we can actually add all that our path. So first of all I want to add that path. Our path will be I just name it for the authentication as an account. Okay, that will be as an account, and then we have to include. So with this include here in our app blog, into the app logging area, I have created one of the file as a URLs. So now I just simply put that link in our app underscore logging, and then our file name as URLs, right? So that is our URLs. Perfect. And also you have to do the same things for our blog. That means here I copy it and paste it. So it should be for the blog, it should be by default as a blog, right? That will be as a blog, and include app that is our app blog, app underscore blog, with this app blog, that is our URLs. That means I just put that link, it should be included our app blog URL, right? So I just simply added both of these. And also I want to create another home URL. That means that is actually our home URL. I want to create it. So if you want to create it, then that is in our main area. So that is our path. Into the path area, I want to make as our home directory will be as empty, right friend? In fundamental I have already discussed about that things with you. And also I want to do in our here, that means in our main area, main project area, that have no view file, right? So I want to create one of the file. Here I want to create one of the new file, and I just name it as a views.py. so into the views.py area I want to create some of the method. So in our URLs, so that means that is a home, so that is our views. So into the views area I want to create one of the method as index method. Okay, and I just name it, I just put that name. That means I want to put that our path name, I want to put that path name will be as an index, right friend? So I think everything I have already discussed about that things with you is just like that same. So first of all here if you want to use it, that means view index, here we have to also include, that means input our this view, right? So that is our same directory. So for the reasons that is a from, and then same directory I want to input our views. So I just simply input that views. So now into the views area I want to create our this function, that means this index function. If you go to our views, so that is our views area. First of all here I just name it as a def, and then our index, right? And also it should be pass one of the parameter as a request. So that's pretty much basic. I have already shared everything with you. So now here I want to return one of the HTTP response. So return HTTP So HTTP response, and with the HTTP response I want to pass on the string data. I am from home page. Okay, so this type of one of the string value I just simply pass with our HTTP response. If you want to pass it, then you have to input our this HTTP response. So that is from our Django, right? Django and then HTTP, and from here I want to input our this HTTP response. So I just simply import it, and then I just simply use it, and with this we just pass some of the string value. Okay, so that will be string text. Perfect. And also that is our URL pattern. So also you have to add that URL pattern for our app logging, that is our URLs. So here better I just copy everything. Okay, I just copy everything, and now I just simply paste it on here. Here we don't need this our include. I just simply remove it, and also here we don't need this. I just simply remove it, right? Then also it should be needed for the import our views file, and here right now I just make that things as empty. Laterally we will add some of the URL specific for our authentication, and also same, it should be just like that, same for our app block. In our app block, that is our URLs, here I just simply paste it. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh our home, yes, you can see it's now perfectly visible. I am from home page. Because of all here I have already created that URL. That means in our home route URL I loaded our views in our index function. So into the views area I have input that views. That means that is our project, and there is a views. I have created our function name as index. I just pass that request with our HTTP response. So that is our text. You can see it's now perfectly visible. So now here I want to load our template. Okay, that means here in our template area I want to create two of this folder. I want to create one of the folder for our app logging, app_logging. That means app logging related every HTML file I want to save, in particular that folder area. And also I want to create another one for our app blog. I just name it as a app_blog. Right, so just created two of these. And also I want to create another file in our template area. I want to create one of the file, and I just name it as a base.html. So into the base.html area I want to add all that our bootstrap code. Okay, better if you go to bootstrap. So if you go to that bootstrap, and if you go to that bootstrap official site, go to the get started, and here that is the bootstrap, all that CSS, JSS, if you want to use it you can use it. Rather than right now I want to use our starter template, that means the bootstrap starter template. I just simply copy it, and now in our base HTML here I just simply paste it. So friend, in fundamental I have already discussed about everything. I think you can well understand about every function. So here I want to make the things as a PHP, and here you can see there is a bootstrap CDN CSS and the bootstrap CDN JSS, right? And that is our hello world. So that is our hello world is visible. And also if you want to make that title as a dynamic, I have already discussed about that things with you. Here we have to create one of the block, right, for the inherited. So here if you want to create that block, so I just simply name it as a block, and I just name that block name as a title. Okay, and also we have to finish it. That means we have to end this block and block. So that will be as an and block, right? And in particular that area it should be our main URL. Now for the home I name it as a blog. Okay, blog page. So that will be our title, and here that is our body. So into the body area I want to load one of the navbar. Okay, so here I put some of the HTML navbar on here. So if you already know about that, you can take the things from the bootstrap official site. So right now I just name it as a nav. And for the nav area I want to put some of the class. So I just put that class as a navbar, and the navbar, and then expand sm, and then bg. I make the things as a bg dark. Okay, that will be one of the navbar, and navbar another class, navbar, and then dark. Okay, that will be one of the class as a navbar dark. Perfect. And then also here I want to add one of the UL. Into the UL area I also want to put some of the class, and for this UL class as a navbar navbar and then nav. So that is one of the class, and then I take one of the li, and for the li also want to put some of the class, and class will be as a nav. So that is all that bootstrap class actually. So I have already added all that our bootstrap CDN, so now we can actually use it. So I just make as a active. Okay, this item active, and here I take one of the ahref area. It should be show our one of the navbar menu as a home menu. Okay, and for the home here I put some of the class, that will be as a class as a nav link, nav, and then the link and nav link class. And here if you want to put your URL, I have already discussed about that things with you friend. So if you go to our main URL, so that is our URL, I just put that name, that means our path name as index, right? So now we can actually use it for our home. So here it should be with the double percentage and then URL, and URL will be our index, right? So make that sure. Yeah, you can see that is actually the index, our path name I have just added as the index. So now it should be as the index. Perfect. And also I inherited another things, our another block, because of all our header part will be the same for our every pages, right? That means our navbar will be the same for the every pages. And here I have already include our title CDN and then our JS CDN. So here I want to make that our one of the block. So friend, I already have discussed about everything, and we also create some of the small project with this. So for the reasons here I am not explain it again. I hope you will understand about it. So I just name it as an again block, and I just name it as a contain, or better I name it as a block body. Okay, body block. So whatever you want. So now I make it as a body block, and also we have to finish it. That means and block. Perfect. So now that is our base HTML. So now we can actually use it. That means we can actually extend it with our different pages, right? So for our blog app block here, I want to create one of the file, and here I name it as a blog list, blog_list.html. Okay, that will be as a blog list.html. So now we have to extend our this base HTML, in particular this block area. Because of all here I have already extended one of the block, that means our blog as a body block, right? So better friend, I want to continue this process. In our next video I will show you how you can do that work. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.